What are you supposed to do when you're thrown into an unknown or uncertain situation and you have no clue what to do? Hi, I'm Mandy from MLG Coaching, and on this channel I talk about personal development and I also offer yoga training videos. So if you're into either or both of those topics, then you found your right place. The reason I chose this topic is because this is my first YouTube video, and honestly, even after doing a lot of research, I still have no clue what to expect. So I thought this is a pretty cool topic and authentic one to start off with. Everyone deals with the unknown and uncertainty in a different way. Some of us enjoy the thrill and the excitement of not really knowing what's going to happen, and others feel frozen and scared to death in a situation where they feel that they don't have complete control because they don't have any data to fall back on. You may think this is just a small personality trait and you're this kind of person or that kind of person, no big deal. However, how you deal with uncertainty, insecurity, the unknown will actually determine to a great extent how you live your life and the decisions you make. So if I was terrified of the unknown and I would have tried to avoid it at all costs, I would not be in this video, and I would stick to my face-to-face audience because that's a lot safer and I actually know more or less what to expect there. However, over the years, I have learned how to deal with uncertainty and actually started making it my friend so that I can tackle fun challenges like this one. So throughout watching this video, I will be giving you tips and mindset adjustments so that you can get to the space as well. So yes, not putting myself out there would save me from potential disappointment of not getting a lot of views, or I wouldn't have to be inundated with all the editing information that I have to learn from scratch now, or it will also help me to avoid negative comments should I ever get any of those, which I've heard is quite inevitable. So yes, it will keep me a lot safer, but on the flip side though, it will give me the opportunity to really expand my audience and be able to connect with people like you and grow my business. But I will also really grow on a personal level because it's exposure, it's putting yourself out there, and hey, I want to become a stronger person, so that's part of the benefits of it. It allows me to experience being vulnerable and in the same time build resilience. You know, I never want to live my life hidden away and scared of the unknown and things that might happen out of my control, because my intention is to live my life to the ultimate, and that's exactly what I want for you as well. So in my books, there's a lot more to gain than there is to lose. The fact is, the more comfortable we are with being in uncertainty, the better the quality of our life is, because, well, life is uncertain. Let's face it, we never really know what life is going to throw at us. We don't know what the people around us will say or do. We don't know what nature will give us at any given point. We don't even know how we will be tomorrow. We might be looking forward to an event that we've been waiting for the whole year and then come up with a stomach bug and we're screwed. Point is, even the things we thought were certain or guaranteed can go into a whole different direction without any warning. Here's the thing. The feeling of certainty does not come from guarantees, but rather from the feeling or the confidence that we'll be okay no matter what happens. So basically, it comes down to being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now you ask, well, how the hell do I get comfortable with being uncomfortable? Great question. The answer is mostly in your head, and it requires you to reframe the relationship you have with the unknown. The first step is to realize that uncertainty or variety or the unknown is your friend, and it enhances your life in a beautiful way. Let me ask you this, would you have the same experience in a suspense movie if you already knew the outcome of the movie up front? There's a reason we call spoiler alert. Thank you for spoiling that for me. Even more, if you knew every single thing about every single day of the rest of your life, would you still enjoy life? Would you have any excitement over the goals and ambitions that you've set for yourself? The suspense of the unknown is what holds the tension and what pulls us forward. So again, the first step is to realize the beauty of being uncertain. The second thing you need to do is to get your mind in the right place and accept that things are not going to be perfect. This is a vital part to mentally integrate. If I do something unknown, I have absolutely no expectation that it's going to go perfectly. On the contrary, I actually expect myself to make an idiot of myself and maybe even completely blow it. But the difference is the thought that I choose to associate with it. And that is that, hey, at least I'll have data and I'll have feedback that I can learn from and integrate into my next project. We tend to feel shameful to be beginners, which is totally ridiculous. Like, how can we become an expert if we don't start at the beginning? And also in this process, if you really embrace it and you take in every moment of being a beginner, you'll have a lot of data and you'll learn a lot of skills on your way to becoming an expert. And see yourself as a scientist. You're experimenting, you're trying out new things and ways of it to work, and if it doesn't work, you're not discouraged. You just take whatever you can learn from that and you use it to integrate into your knowledge and to use it to become an expert in your field. And thirdly, trust yourself, also known as confidence and courage. So basically, be scared and do it anyway. If you've been alive for more than 5 minutes, you have inevitably experienced uncertain and unknown situations. And hey, look at you, you've survived, you're here, and you're probably a little wiser for it. Usually we learn when life throws us into a situation and we're forced to deal with it. However, that's not always enjoyable. So you can take it in your own hands and start to build resilience on your own terms. Here's a groundbreaking thought. The way to build confidence and resilience toward uncertainty is to expose yourself to it. Now, don't freak out. I'm not telling you to get into a plane and to see what happens when you jump out without a parachute. What I'm talking about is exposing yourself to uncertainty in small, bite-sized steps. You can invite your friends over for dinner and cook a meal that you've never cooked before, or have a conversation with your partner that you've never had before, or just take a different road to work, watch different videos on YouTube or on Netflix. You can be the first one to volunteer for a new activity. You can try out my yoga video on this channel this week. Whatever it is, it can be something really small that's just out of your routine or out of your habits, and that will kind of mess with your brain a little bit and help you to start building up resilience. For a very long time in my life, I avoided anything that was uncomfortable or that could potentially not work out. And my biggest fear was that I would embarrass myself. However, over time, I realized that this exposure is part of my growth, and that is way more important to me. And at that point, that fear of embarrassment and that insecurity was actually replaced by curiosity and excitement. And because of that, I was then able to deal with unknown situations in a much more efficient and calm way. And if it still didn't work out, I had something to laugh about. Once you learn to not take yourself and the world around you too seriously, it opens up a pathway for you to actually enjoy the uncomfortable moments and, in the same way, start to live your life to the ultimate. Maybe you are facing uncertainty right now and you're feeling a little bit lost. I'm here to tell you that you'll be okay. Regardless of what happens, you'll be wiser afterwards. You have one more experience in your pocket that you can tell a story about one day. The more you are exposed to uncertainty, or the more you expose yourself to uncertainty, the more used to it you will become. So you won't need everything in perfect place before you tackle something or before you get into that space. And as a result of that, life becomes a lot less scary. You can choose whether the situation that you're in is either going to empower you or drag you down. And I really, really hope that you choose to be empowered. So my dear ones, your empowering action for today is to shift your perspective when it comes to uncertainty. Instead of seeing it as a threat, see it as your friend, the spice of life and your gateway to more and greater experiences. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. If you want to have a bit of a laugh and see how I messed up while I was recording this video, there's bloopers at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I really hope that I will see you again in the next video. I loved hanging out with you. Bye! So yes, Now here's the thing, the feeling of certainty does not come from... Now here's the thing, the feeling of certainty does not come... Let me ask you this, would you have the This is a vital part to mentally integrate. I'm unsure about a situation, I have no expectation that it's going to be weird and awkward, and I might make a complete idiot of myself, and and skills that you could have learned on the way to becoming an expert. Instead of seeing it as a threat, see it as the space. So my dear ones, you're empowering. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate you. If you want to laugh about the bloopers that I made while watching